You know, as I sit and I listen to the testimony on this bill, there's so many emotions that I go through. I get mad at the misinformation. I get sad that anyone would even begin to judge my actions as being something that they're not. I think that I am one of the members in this chamber that goes out of their way to make sure that I have conversations with everyone, that I listen to everyone's concerns. We need to make it known that this bill, there was a press conference on January 24th. The bill was not dropped until January 29th. This bill went through committee February 7th, and now it comes to the floor how many days later? And nobody wants to have a conversation with me about it until today? Today. I reach my hand across the aisle every single day. I'm an elected official that naively believed that we all want, regardless of R or D, we all come down here because we want what's best for the citizens of our state. We may be ideologically in disagreement of what that looks like, but we ultimately all want the same thing. And you know what makes this country so great and why people want to come here is because we have law and order and we have protections and we care about the health and safety of our citizens. I'm a nurse, first and foremost. And until you witness what I've witnessed in the hospitals, in the operating rooms, when you can't tell the difference between a woman's parts because of what's happened to them, when you have to do CPR on a child because they touched pills that someone left on their front porch, and they are now overdosing. We have legislation to make sure that Narcan is available to anyone that needs it so that we do not have children and innocent people dying from the drugs that are coming across that border. I'm offended that anyone, and I'm ashamed at anyone that makes this about immigration because that's not what this is. This bill is 22 pages long. There is one sentence in this bill that has to do with making it a state crime. I'm going to read it because I wonder if everybody has. It is unlawful for a person who is an alien to enter or attempt to enter this state directly from a foreign nation at any location other than a lawful port of entry. There is nothing in here that has anything to do with 1070. Nothing. I worked hard to make sure that this was going to be a tool that our law enforcement is asking us for to protect every single citizen in the state of Arizona. Fear of the past is no excuse for inaction. Because in my line of work outside of the Senate, inaction kills people. And we are getting reports every day that the federal government and Biden's open border policies and that inaction is killing people every single day, not just in Arizona. Every state is a border state. And the crisis that's happening, is there a humanitarian crisis? Yes, and I would argue this conversation making about immigration just makes it worse because the cartel controls it. Pound for pound, human trafficking makes them way more money. And the fact that you don't want to look at that. Why is there not a conversation about what we can do? Why is it that we have to just beat the drum of something in the past to create fear and misinformation? Are federal laws unconstitutional? I would argue that they're not. The federal government is not going to enforce their own laws, and they leave us here alone to try to manage this. It absolutely is our duty as elected officials to do something about it. We were created as the United States of America. The federal government did not come first. State sovereignty. You need to stand up and protect your citizens. You need to know what's actually really going on. Open your eyes. Go to the border. Go see what Senator Gowan was talking about, what he sees every day. Have a conversation. We talk about the law enforcement officials. You want them to come down? Absolutely. They did come down. They're down here begging for us to do something to help them. We don't legislate based on what may or may not happen in a court. Remember the oath you took. Our law enforcement is overwhelmed by the chaos created by Biden's open border policies. And it's time to take the handcuffs off of our law enforcement. This bill is supported 100% unanimous by the Sheriff's Association. The men elected by the citizens in the individual counties to protect every Arizonan. They need this. So to make this about immigration is shameful because it's false information. This is not about immigration. We need to give the sheriffs and the law enforcement the resources and the support. There are 3 sanctuaries in here. There are 4 affirmative defenses in here. I worked very hard to make sure that this was about what it really is about. And that is giving the sheriffs the capability to stop people who are breaking the law coming into our state and doing harm to the citizens of our state. Because I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I don't ever want to do CPR on a 3-year-old child again because they touched fentanyl that was left by an illegal criminal. That could be your daughter, your granddaughter. You, ladies and gentlemen, this is a crisis, and to call it anything but an invasion is wrong. I appreciate the support from my fellow members, and I really hope that you look at this and you realize exactly what this is, and that is for the protection of the citizens that we serve. I'm here to serve the people in my district and the people of the state. This isn't about power. This isn't about games. Because as any of you that spend any time with me know that I don't do any of that. And with that, I vote aye.
All right, Senator Shamp votes aye. This is now closed. Secretary, record a vote by a vote of 16 ayes, 13 nays, 1 not voting. You've passed Senate Bill 1231 without the emergency.